Hi folks, I wanted to take a minute and address something I've been getting a lot of comments on because now I actually have some information about it. Every time I posted an update on the situation in Virginia, I got a ton of comments, messages, and emails from people asking me, why don't the people of Virginia just recall Governor Northam? I can tell you exactly why and what Virginia politicians are doing to make sure it doesn't happen. But first, today's video is brought to you by USCCA. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association is your place for legal and financial protection in the event of a self-defense situation. They also offer certified training, education, and 24/7 support for gun owners on top of some pretty spiffy discounts on popular brands of gear. They are your best resource should you ever have to protect yourself or your family. To get set up with USCCA, you can text DOLL, that's DOLL, to 87222 or visit the link in the description. Now, to understand why Northam hasn't been recalled, we first need to understand how someone is recalled. To do it, gun owners would have to go through a pretty tedious process that the state so graciously lists on their website. First, someone has to write up a petition, file it with the circuit court, and get it approved by the county clerk, which seems pretty counterproductive and a little rigged, but okay. That's step one. They need to include all identifying information and prove they're a registered voter in that locality and make sure that all of their information is printed on every page of the petition. Then the filer needs to get the signatures. Each signer needs to date their signature and are encouraged to also include the last 4 digits of their social security number. Each signature also needs to be witnessed by someone who is registered and qualified to vote in the locality the petition is filed for. The witness should be the person who filed it, but if not, whoever is witnessing needs to have all of their identifying information on every page of the petition too. All signatures need to be gathered within a period of 9 months and then filed back with the original court. The number of signatures needed depends on the number of voters registered in that locality on January 1st. The current law places the requirements at 10% of voters, but times are a-changin', my friends. More on that in a minute. From there, the courts go through and validate every signature to make sure that they're all from people actually registered to vote in that city, county, or state. Then they go through the process of determining whether or not the petition is actually valid and sufficient, and if found valid and sufficient, the referendum goes to a vote. That part might seem easy enough, as I'm sure there are more than 300,000 Virginia gun owners that would sign on.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Problem is, the actual citizens in Virginia are not the ones that take part in the recall vote. Instead, it's the circuit courts that decide. Which, again, seems a little counterintuitive and rigged, but okay.
Yeah, that seems fair.
It's extremely unlikely that the courts would side with anyone but Northam because the Supreme Court has yet to hear the cases against the laws proposed in Virginia. Saying that no one has called the laws unconstitutional, and thus that Northam hasn't violated his oath of office, is a good excuse for the state's judges to stick by their man.
Stand by your man.
So basically, your Change.org petitions do nothing. Sorry. But just to be extra double sure that Northam gets to finish out his reign of gun control into 2021, the House has filed House Bill 842, a bill that completely changes the recall ballgame. This new bill changes the number of required signatures from 10% to 25% of registered voters and gives the petitioner only 60 days to get all of the signatures. So they're trying to cut it down from 10% in 9 months to 25% in 2.
Those things are rigged.
The bill was filed on January 7th, immediately shuttled into the Committee on Privileges and Elections, and then was kicked over to the Subcommittee on Campaign Finance on Monday, January 13th. Now, this is an amendment to an old bill about kicking out elected officials, so it's perfectly possible that this has nothing to do with the people out there calling for Northam and other state politicians to be recalled, but the timing sure is coincidental. There's also the possibility that it will be used to install and keep any anti-gun officials after the government ousts the pro-gun ones, which they've already promised to do. Either way, the fact is this isn't the first time Northam or A.G. Herring or any of these guys have faced calls of impeachment or recall, and those didn't go anywhere either. There's some controversy over whether or not Northam could even be taken out by recall if one were to succeed. The Virginia Constitution does have an impeachment clause, but it can only be enacted if Northam is in suspicion of offending against the Commonwealth by malfeasance in office, corruption, neglect of duty, or other high crime or misdemeanor. While many gun owners would say he's done exactly that, it's not their opinion that counts. Again, it's the opinion of the House of Delegates and the Senate, which, for the most part, is on board with Northam and his gun control efforts. So, unfortunately, that looks to be another dead end. So, I know, not very positive information, but hopefully I was able to at least answer that question for you guys. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, leave a comment, check out the partners in the description. If you'd like to help the channel in other ways, you can do so over at Patreon, Subscribestar, or my website, check out some merch, or give a one-time donation through PayPal or crypto. As always, thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and happy shooting.